Hi. About 3 semesters ago, I started my master's degree in computer engineering after 21 years being out of school. And I started my education career again with CDA 5106 Advanced Computer Architecture. And as part of that, I started searching my old material from my undergraduate at the University of Alabama in Huntsville all the way back from the year 2000 for the undergraduate level equivalent of this class. And I did find it because I needed to bring myself up to the material since I've been out of the academic world for a long time. And when it comes to computer architecture, that's the equivalent of microprocessor design and basically not quite at the hardware level, but just above that at the logical hardware level when it comes to computer architecture. And by computer architecture, I mean at the microprocessor level. And the undergraduate class is called computer organization. And I needed to refresh my knowledge about that because when I started that class, the professor that I had at the University of Central Florida was extremely difficult, and he also was a very harsh grader as well. And on top of that, an 80 was not a B. An 84 was a B. An 80 is a B minus, which means that a B minus is equal to a 2.87 or something like that. Basically lower than a 3.0 GPA, so not a real B, which was very harsh. And I did not know that fact up until the very last day of the semester, and I was horrified when I found that out because I barely passed that class with an 84.71. And the entire semester, I thought that I was on safe ground with a solid B. And it turned out that I barely got out of that class with a B. And it was my first class ever, and it did kick my butt. But it did remind me of an assignment that I had a long time ago back at UAH. And the assignment was palindromes. So in one of the assignments was basically write a program that takes in a string and reverses it. So that would be this. How do you do this? What's the simplest algorithm to do this? Well, the simplest way is to simply use a stack. And a stack is a first in, last out type of algorithm. And it works just like a real stack in the real world. So you stack a bunch of boxes up, and then you take the one that you put in on the very top out. So very simple to reverse. So basically you put in each character inside the stack, and then the very last character is what comes out of the stack because it's at the very top. And that's what we see here. Here is where I'm calling the reverse function, and the reverse function puts in each character at a time inside the stack, pushes the stack in, and then it prints it out just to show you what it is, and then it pops out the stack here, and then you can see program running. And let's do that real quick. So let's do a make clean. We'll do a make, and let's run it. And there we go. Here's the original string. Here's what's in the stack. And then here's the output. Okay, so how is this implemented? Well, this program is written in C. I wrote this in C. And just to, it wasn't an assignment in the graduate level, but I did write it. I thought that we might get something in similar, but we didn't. And as you can see, I implemented a stack using pointers to store the data on the heap. So this is not a stack that's stored in the stack. It's a stack that's stored on the heap. And this is my push function. Basically, okay. So we have to The way I implemented this is basically like a linked list. Because the stack is not empty, we count to the next pointer, and we move the pointer, the stack pointer, to the next level to make room for the new element. And if it's empty, obviously the new pointer is the stack itself. And then to take it out, we just simply do that in reverse. Obviously, this is just printing out the stack. And this is just traversing the stack and printing out the stack that you see right here. Well, that seems like a lot of work. So why did we implement a stack? All languages have libraries that implement linked lists and stacks and basic data structures. So why'd you go through all this effort to do this and debug it and make sure that there's no bugs in it? Well, the C programming language doesn't have a standard template library like C++ does. Okay, then why didn't you use C++? I didn't use C++ because I wanted to do this in the lower level, and I'll explain that in a minute. Well, what about, forget these archaic languages. Why not just use Java or Python or all of these other languages? You don't even have to think about it. You want a linked list, you want a stack, you can just instantiate it and use it of whatever type. Well, you're absolutely right, you can. Except this assignment wasn't to do this in C or C++ or anything. I just did it in C just to get as low level as possible to get me ready to do this assignment in what the assignment was for. This was 20 years ago. And the assignment was to do this. Well, let me show you. So 20 years ago, 21, 22 years ago now, the assignment, or more than that actually, 24 years ago, the assignment was to do it in assembly right here. And this is what we will be going over next time on part 2, because this was the real assignment. And if you like boring content like this, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, visit Enigma Climbing.